Hey everybody, Jay here. I'm back with a quick video for you guys today. As you can see behind me, I have a Losi 5T 2.0 gas-powered fifth scale truck. I bought this for two primary reasons. Number one is that my company, Rawspeed, we're developing some products for this that are kind of in process right now. And honestly, maybe even more important than that, here in Bakersfield, we actually have a dedicated fifth scale track, Good Old Boys Raceway, just 10 minutes from my house. I decided I'd buy it. I'd get out, club race it once a month, maybe twice a month if I could, do some practice laps. You really get a unique perspective by hands-on. Getting hands-on and getting the truck or the vehicle out on the track, seeing where there's room for improvement, seeing what's really solid out of the box. I didn't want to just kind of create a product without really getting into the full experience and really experiencing fifth scale. Every time I go to the track, the fifth scale track, no matter where it's at, I was at the South Point Hotel for the Silver State a few years ago. The community is really laid back. It seems like a really solid, laid back, enjoyable community. You don't have any of the grind of, the tire prep or the extreme sensitivity of some of the indoor racing that we see today. Not that I don't love that, because I'm a huge two-wheel buggy fan. But anyways, I decided to buy this so that we'd have a better kind of handle on product development, and because it's just going to be flat out fun here in my hometown. So I'm going to quit talking. Come on over. We'll take it out of the box, and then I'll show you a couple of the products that I purchased to kind of get this thing race prepped for when we actually want to go racing. And we'll show you how to take the body off, and we'll talk a little bit about the vehicle itself. After that, we'll wrap it up, and hopefully, as soon as this craziness here in the United States ends or simmers down and we're able to get back to the track, I promise I'll take some video for you guys, even if it's just my cell phone, and I'll post it up right here on YouTube. Again, hope you guys enjoyed watching this video just as much as I enjoyed making it. Let's get to the unboxing. I'll see you guys next time. All right, this is a big box, and I guess it probably doesn't take very much imagination to guess what's in it. After all, this is an RC channel. And so, the journey begins. I'm super lucky. I'm one of the very few people, from what I understand, that actually has a dedicated fifth scale track here in my hometown. A lot of places don't have these. So these guys that run these big fifth scales have to travel a really long way just to go have a little bit of fun with their RC of choice. And that isn't the case for me. We have a track right here in Bakersfield called Good Old Boy Raceway, and a guy named Ed Turney runs it. And they have a solid turnout, and they're actually starting to run some 8th scale as well, so I'm super looking forward to getting out and doing some outdoor racing. But for the longest time, I always wanted to try the 5th scale thing, but it was a little bit cost prohibitive. I didn't really have the time. Now that we've decided to do a little bit more, kind of commit ourselves hardcore to doing some 8th scale racing and some outdoor racing, I thought it would be nice to have one of these just to try it out, play around, see what it's all about. A lot of guys have already got videos of these specific vehicles here on YouTube, but I just thought I would do a quick unboxing, and then as I run it and do some upgrades and stuff like that, we'll talk to some of the guys, we'll talk to Matt Olson, we'll talk to some of the guys that make some of the really cool parts to upgrade these things. And I'll just take you on the journey with me. It's large scale RC is cool. There are so many different areas of RC that I considered kind of dabbling in, I guess you might say. I considered dabbling in crawlers and stuff, but I've been a racer my whole life. I guess I was born a racer, I'll die a racer. And so I figured, while I have been doing quite a bit of club racing at Rain Man's indoor with my 10 scale stuff, in fact, I just bought a new B6.2 here a few weeks ago. I thought it would be fun to get out, breathe some fresh air, and run some 5th scale. So this is it. This is the Losi 5T 2.0, and this is the blue and gray edition. Now there's a problem here. Anybody that knows me knows that this body isn't white. That's like a major problem. But I don't want anybody panicking, because we got a body for it. We can't be going out there running around with a painted body. Well, not a body painted with any color. So I ordered this This is just a replacement TLR body that I got directly from Horizon. And as you guys can see, there's boxes and boxes around here. I guess we're going to need the bat knife again. It's kind of interesting. There are some aftermarket companies that sell one-piece bodies. And let me just tell you something. As a guy that actually makes bodies and has the tooling to make bodies, it takes a machine that is the real deal to make a body that size. And it's not cheap. From what I was told, one of the primary reasons that Losi decided to make this body in multiple pieces is so that as it wears out, because everything does over time, you can buy it piece by piece. So I got a clear body. I'll let you guys guess what color we're going to paint it, and then we'll get it out there and get it running. So that's it. I just thought I'd show you guys a new RC car that I thought would be super fun to take out, bash around. We'll definitely do some club racing, and then as time permits, we'll upgrade it and just have some fun. So that's it. New Losi 5T 2.0. After talking to a couple of friends of mine here in town that actually have the 5T, they told me the first thing to go generally is the steering servo. And so this is kind of the budget option. This is the high-tech D845 WP, and this thing makes a tremendous amount of torque. At 4.8 volts, it makes 453 ounces. At 6 volts, it makes 565 ounces. And at 7.4 volts, this thing makes nearly 700 ounce-inches of torque, which seems insane if you're coming from the 10 scale or the 8 scale buggy world, but for this 5th scale world, it's really what you need. One of the lessons that I learned early on racing 8 scale nitro buggies, a lot of guys would go big on the steering servo, so they always had really good steering response, but they never went crazy on the throttle servo because they just figured that it didn't take that much torque to pull open the carburetor. But what they forgot, or what they didn't take into account in many cases, is that it's not about pulling the carb open, it's about stomping the brakes. And when you've got a 35-pound bullet heading down the straightaway at, I don't know, 30 miles an hour or so, you want to be able to stop it. So I actually got 2 of these things. I'm going to put one on the servo, or one on the steering, one on the brake, and see how that works out. The next step up from here is kind of like a $400 to $500 option, and so I really wanted to avoid that. Basically, what I intend to do right now is just put these servos in there, and then I'm going to put a pipe on it at some point. I've talked to a whole bunch of racers, and most of them recommend the Bartolone pipe, and so I'm probably going to get my hands on one of these. Definitely quite a bit louder, but from what I understand, it makes a lot more bottom end. And so those are really the 2 upgrades, the servos and the Bartolone pipe, and we're just going to send it out from there. Most people wouldn't argue that gas is really fun. The noise, the torque, the realism, the tuning. If you're a true gearhead, and I consider myself a true gearhead, it's fun. It's just plain old fun. Hearing this thing rip around and make noise and tuning the carb, and it's a blast. But if we're really being honest with ourselves, a lot of us don't have time to maintain this equipment the way we would really like to. And that's what makes electric equipment so nice. And this is an e-conversion that is pretty slick, comes with a variety of different parts to convert the truck to run obviously with an electric motor and battery. And this thing is pretty slick. They're pretty rare. The electronics are pretty expensive, and I'll show you guys a clip if I can find it. The amount of power that this thing puts down is downright insane. It is literally insanity at the amount of power that this thing can put down. So I bought this because if I keep this, I just don't know how much time I'll have to maintain the gas-powered equipment. And this might make for a fun video here in the future. I got a pretty good deal on it. And so I guess if I don't use it, maybe I can always sell it off. But this is something that I definitely would like to get to, but I can't promise that we will. It just depends how much free time we end up having. All right, now that we've got this thing out of the box, it's up on the bench. And in order to remove the body, the first thing you're going to want to do is flip the truck up on its side so that you can remove the 4 bolts that secure the cage to the side guards on the chassis. This body just would never be strong enough, so this cage really supports the body panels very much like in a real trophy truck. Remove those 4 bolts and then flip the truck back down onto its wheels, where you can then remove the rear body clips, and then underneath the hood, the front body clips. You can pop the body up on the front, and then you can pull it out of its mating slot in the back of these little pockets that the cage locks into on the rear bumper. And then you get to take a look at the true interior of the truck. This truck actually comes with a Spectrum servo, or a Spectrum receiver rather, but I'm not going to run the Spectrum radio. I'm going to run an Airtronics radio. And so I've already got it removed. See, there's a big spot for a radio battery for a receiver pack, but it does not come with that. I actually need to order that. That's something that I honestly forgot to order, so I've got that on order now. And then you can just see that the truck is built really nice. It's got nice shocks. The cage is done really well. I'm really looking forward to getting out and doing some running. Obviously, I've already shown you guys the servo and the possible electric conversion. So that's about it. This is the truck. I'm really excited to get this thing on the track as soon as everything kind of clears up and we have the go ahead. And that's about it. Hope you guys enjoyed watching this video just as much as I enjoyed making it, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.